The automotive industry is collapsing right before your eyes, and nobody is talking about the real carnage happening at dealerships across America. While mainstream media feeds you stories about strong consumer demand and healthy sales figures, the truth is, 8 major car brands are practically giving away their 2025 models just to clear inventory. Dealerships that once operated on razor-thin profit margins are now losing money on every sale. The same manufacturers that told you to pay above sticker price during the pandemic are now slashing prices by 30 to 40% and still cannot move metal off their lots. You have been lied to about market conditions, consumer confidence, and the health of these automotive giants. In this video, I am exposing exactly which 8 brands are in full panic mode, why their desperate fire sales will not save them from what is coming, and what this means if you are considering buying a new vehicle in 2025. Make sure you subscribe right now because this situation is deteriorating faster than anyone predicted, and the brand at number 1 is already planning contingency strategies that could reshape the entire industry. Number 8, Mitsubishi. The slow-motion collapse of Mitsubishi in North America is accelerating into freefall territory that should terrify anyone who bought one of their vehicles in the past 5 years. Just walk into any Mitsubishi dealership today and you will see something unprecedented. Brand new 2025 Outlanders and Mirages sitting with price cuts that would have been considered impossible just 18 months ago. Some dealers are advertising discounts exceeding $8,000 on vehicles with manufacturers' suggested retail prices under $30,000. That is not a sale. That is a liquidation. Behind these desperate numbers lies a product lineup so outdated that it makes 10-year-old competitors look cutting edge. The Mirage, Mitsubishi's entry-level offering, uses technology and engineering that would have felt dated in 2010. Independent automotive reviewers consistently rank it among the worst new cars you can buy, citing agricultural driving dynamics, safety features that barely meet minimum standards, and build quality that feels decades behind Korean and Japanese alternatives. When your flagship budget vehicle cannot compete with used cars at the same price point, you have a fundamental problem no rebate can solve. The dealer network itself is disintegrating in real time across major metropolitan areas. Cities that once supported 4 or 5 Mitsubishi dealerships are down to 1 or 2 struggling locations, sharing showroom space with other brands just to stay viable. Each closure represents not just lost jobs and failed investments, but also creates service deserts where existing Mitsubishi owners face increasingly limited options for warranty work and maintenance. This creates a vicious cycle where potential buyers avoid the brand due to concerns about long-term dealer support, further accelerating the network collapse. Market share numbers tell a story that Mitsubishi executives cannot spin away. The brand now commands less than 1% of the total United States automotive market, a figure so small it barely registers in industry statistics. To put that in perspective, Mitsubishi sells fewer vehicles in America than some individual models from mainstream competitors. The Outlander, their best-selling vehicle, moves fewer units monthly than a single trim level of the Toyota RAV4. When your entire brand generates less volume than one competitor's product configuration, survival becomes questionable. Perhaps most damaging is the complete erosion of brand awareness among younger buyers who represent the future. Consumer research reveals that Americans under 30 have virtually zero familiarity with Mitsubishi as an automotive brand. Some recognize the name from air conditioners or other electronics, not realizing Mitsubishi even makes cars. This generational disconnect creates an insurmountable marketing challenge. How do you sell vehicles to consumers who do not know you exist and have no emotional connection to your heritage? Number 7, Subaru. The all-wheel drive specialist that built a cult following through decades of genuine capability is now watching that loyalty evaporate under the weight of quality problems that corporate headquarters refuses to acknowledge publicly. Subaru's engine issues have metastasized from isolated complaints into a full-blown crisis, affecting multiple model years across their entire lineup. The oil consumption problems plaguing their boxer engines have generated class action lawsuits, technical service bulletins that dealers struggle to implement effectively, and a growing community of frustrated owners documenting catastrophic failures online. Some owners report engines consuming a quart of oil every 1,000 miles, requiring constant monitoring and top-ups between service intervals. When the engine that defines your brand identity becomes a liability, you face an existential threat. These mechanical problems have triggered a customer satisfaction collapse that contradicts everything Subaru built its reputation on. Owner surveys from independent research firms show dramatic declines in satisfaction scores, particularly regarding dealer service experiences and warranty claim handling. Subaru owners, once among the most brand-loyal customers in the industry, increasingly report feeling dismissed or blamed for problems clearly rooted in manufacturing defects. Social media groups dedicated to Subaru engine problems now have tens of thousands of members sharing stories, legal strategies, and documentation of failures that should never happen in modern vehicles. The financial consequences appear in unprecedented incentive spending across Subaru's lineup. The brand that famously operated with minimal rebates and maintained strong residual values now offers thousands in discounts just to keep pace with segment sales. The Ascent, Subaru's three-row SUV meant to expand their market reach, requires substantial incentives to compete, despite occupying a growing segment. The Outback, long a steady performer, faces inventory buildups at dealers struggling to maintain previous sales velocity. These are not seasonal adjustments. These are signs of fundamental demand softening as word spreads about reliability concerns. Subaru's resale value trajectory should alarm current owners calculating their equity positions. Industry data shows accelerating depreciation across Subaru's lineup, with 3- and 4-year-old models losing value faster than historical norms. This depreciation acceleration directly reflects growing market awareness of potential engine problems and the associated repair costs. A used Subaru that might need a $5,000 to $7,000 engine rebuild becomes significantly less attractive than competitors without these documented issues. As resale values drop, lease payments rise, and the total cost of ownership advantage Subaru once enjoyed disappears. The brand loyalty metrics tell the most devastating story. Subaru built its business on repeat customers who bought multiple vehicles over decades, drawn by capability and reliability. Industry tracking now shows defection rates among Subaru owners reaching levels not seen in the brand's modern history. Families that purchased Foresters and Outbacks for years are switching to Honda, Toyota, and Mazda alternatives when engine problems destroy their confidence. Each defection represents not just one lost sale, but potentially decades of future purchases redirected to competitors. Number 6. Volkswagen. The German automaker's American dream is turning into a recurring nightmare that no amount of marketing spending can disguise. Volkswagen's reliability reputation continues cratering, despite objective improvements in recent model years. Consumer perception often lags reality by several years in the automotive industry, and Volkswagen faces the consequences of past quality issues combined with the long shadow of Dieselgate. Independent reliability studies consistently rank Volkswagen below industry averages, with electrical gremlins, infotainment malfunctions, and minor component failures cited repeatedly. When consumers cross-shop a Tiguan against a CR-V or RAV4, reliability concerns immediately surface, requiring massive incentives to overcome. The dealership experience compounds these perception problems significantly. Volkswagen's service costs substantially exceed mainstream Japanese competitors, with maintenance intervals, parts pricing, and labor rates closer to luxury brands than volume manufacturers. Owners discover that the affordable German engineering they purchased comes with premium German repair costs. Forum discussions and owner communities extensively document service bills that shock customers accustomed to Honda or Toyota ownership expenses. A routine maintenance visit that costs $200 at a Toyota dealer can easily exceed $400 at Volkswagen for comparable work. These costs accumulate over ownership periods, destroying the value equation that initially attracted customers. Volkswagen's electric vehicle strategy in America is stumbling badly despite being ahead of many competitors. The ID.4, meant to establish Volkswagen as an electric leader, faces persistent software problems that undermine the ownership experience. Early adopters report multiple dealer visits for software updates that should have been ready at launch. Features promised in marketing materials arrived months late via over-the-air updates, when they arrived at all. Charging infrastructure integration works inconsistently compared to Tesla's seamless experience. Market share erosion provides hard evidence of Volkswagen's declining relevance in America. The brand that once commanded over 4% of the United States market now struggles to maintain 2%, with losses accelerating in recent quarters. Models like the Jetta and Passat, once common sights in any parking lot, have become rare enough to turn heads. The Atlas, Volkswagen's full-size SUV bet, generates a fraction of the volume achieved by domestic and Japanese three-row competitors. Inventory levels at Volkswagen dealers reveal the desperation behind corporate sales figures. Industry tracking shows day supply numbers significantly exceeding healthy levels across most models. Some dealers carry 90 to 120 days of inventory, 2 to 3 times optimal levels, forcing aggressive discounting that erodes transaction prices and profit margins. Number 5. Mazda. The Japanese independent that tried to go upmarket is discovering that premium positioning requires more than nice interiors and good driving dynamics. Mazda's affordability crisis alienates the budget-conscious customers who built the brand while failing to attract luxury buyers willing to pay premium prices. The CX-50, CX-70, and CX-90 crossovers all carry price tags that overlap entry-level luxury competitors, but without the badge prestige or dealer experience that luxury buyers expect. Meanwhile, traditional Mazda customers balk at prices that exceed their expectations and budgets. Mazda occupies an uncomfortable middle ground where they are too expensive for mainstream shoppers and not prestigious enough for luxury buyers. Technology gaps undermine Mazda's premium pretensions across the lineup significantly. Their infotainment system, while improved from previous generations, still lags competitors in functionality and user interface design. Driver assistance features that come standard on mainstream Hondas and Toyotas remain optional on Mazda models, forcing customers to buy expensive packages to match feature parity with less expensive alternatives. In an era where technology defines modern vehicles as much as driving dynamics, Mazda's relative weakness in this area becomes a fatal flaw for many potential buyers. The sales volume reality exposes the limitations of Mazda's strategy painfully. Despite critical acclaim and numerous awards from automotive journalists, Mazda's United States sales remain stubbornly flat or declining year after year. Models praised for excellent driving characteristics and upscale interiors sit on dealer lots while less refined competitors fly off showrooms. This disconnect between critical reception and commercial success reveals a fundamental misunderstanding of what mainstream customers actually prioritize. Driving enthusiasts who read automotive publications represent a tiny fraction of total buyers. Most customers prioritize technology, space, reliability, reputation, and value over the subjective driving feel that Mazda prioritizes. Dealer profitability concerns are fracturing Mazda's retail network across the country. The combination of low sales volumes and expensive facility requirements strains dealer economics nationwide. Mazda demands showroom standards and customer experience investments comparable to premium brands, but dealers generate revenue more aligned with mainstream volumes. This mismatch creates situations where Mazda dealers struggle to justify continued investment in the franchise. Marketing confusion reflects Mazda's broader identity crisis perfectly. Advertising campaigns struggle to articulate why customers should pay premium prices for a non-premium brand. The messaging vacillates between emphasizing driving pleasure and highlighting design and craftsmanship, which fails to differentiate meaningfully from competitors. Number 4. Chrysler. The near-death experience of an American icon continues as Stellantis executives openly question whether the brand has any future worth investing in whatsoever. Chrysler's single-product existence reduces a once diverse automaker to a minivan company selling one vehicle in multiple trim levels. The Pacifica, while objectively competitive and available in plug-in hybrid form, cannot sustain an entire brand infrastructure on its own. Dealerships need variety to attract different customer segments and generate sufficient traffic to remain viable economically. When your entire showroom consists of variations of one vehicle, most potential customers have no reason to visit at all. Corporate neglect from parent company Stellantis manifests in zero product investment beyond minimal Pacifica updates year after year. While other Stellantis brands receive new models, electrification strategies, and marketing support, Chrysler exists in a state of managed decline. Executive statements about Chrysler's future electric transformation ring hollow when no concrete products materialize year after year. Industry insiders report that internal Stellantis planning documents treat Chrysler as effectively dormant, a brand maintained for legal and contractual reasons rather than strategic importance. This corporate indifference becomes self-fulfilling as lack of investment guarantees continued irrelevance in the marketplace. The dealer network faces an impossible situation trying to justify Chrysler franchises economically. Facilities require ongoing investment in training, tooling, and infrastructure to meet brand standards, but revenue from selling one model cannot support these costs. Most Chrysler dealers long ago consolidated with Jeep, Dodge, or Ram franchises just to remain economically viable. Standalone Chrysler dealerships have virtually disappeared from the American landscape entirely. Each consolidation further diminishes Chrysler's distinct brand identity, blending it into a generic Stellantis showroom where it competes for attention with more profitable siblings. Brand awareness among younger demographics has evaporated completely and utterly. Consumer research shows Americans under 40 have essentially zero familiarity with Chrysler as a current brand operating today. Some vaguely recall the name from childhood or history classes, but few realize Chrysler still exists as an active manufacturer. This generational disconnect dooms any revival attempt because you cannot sell to customers who do not know you exist. Historical significance cannot sustain a modern automotive brand, regardless of heritage or past achievements. Chrysler's past innovations in engineering and design matter nothing to current buyers evaluating 2025 purchase decisions. Number 3, Lincoln. Ford's luxury division faces an existential crisis disguised by temporary sales bumps from fleet purchases and aggressive incentives that mask underlying problems. Lincoln's identity confusion permeates every aspect of the brand, from product positioning to marketing messages that fail to articulate why customers should choose Lincoln over better established rivals in the segment. The shift toward SUV-only lineups eliminated sedans that once gave Lincoln some differentiation, leaving a portfolio of rebadged Ford platforms with nicer interiors and badges. The Nautilus, Aviator, and Navigator all share fundamental architecture with Ford siblings, making the luxury premium harder to justify to informed consumers who research. Technology deficits undermine Lincoln's luxury credentials in an era where premium buyers expect cutting-edge features as standard. Lincoln's driver assistance systems lag competitors by full generations in capability and refinement. Infotainment technology that feels outdated compared to mainstream Hondas cannot command luxury prices in today's market. While German and Japanese luxury brands invest billions in autonomous driving capabilities, connectivity features, and user experience refinement, Lincoln relies on Ford's corporate technology budgets spread across volume brands. The result is a luxury vehicle with technology that feels more mainstream than premium in execution. Quality perception problems plague Lincoln despite objective improvements in recent model years. Consumer Reports and J.D. Power consistently rank Lincoln below luxury segment averages for predicted reliability and initial quality metrics. Whether these ratings reflect actual problems or perception bias against domestic luxury brands, the effect is the same. Potential customers cross Lincoln off their shopping lists before test drives happen. In the information age where buyers research exhaustively before dealer visits, negative reliability ratings function as instant disqualifiers. Resale value collapse makes Lincoln ownership economics unattractive compared to German competitors in the segment. 3-year residual values trail established luxury brands by 15 to 20 percentage points, a devastating gap that makes leasing expensive and ownership costly long-term. A Lincoln Navigator that depreciates $20,000 more than a comparable Cadillac Escalade over 3 years cannot compete on total cost of ownership regardless of initial purchase price discounts offered. Marketing spending generates minimal return as Lincoln struggles to reach younger luxury buyers who represent the future. The brand's advertising campaigns target an older demographic with traditional media placements, while younger affluent customers increasingly ignore these channels completely. Number 2. Infiniti. Nissan's luxury division exists in a state of limbo, where corporate commitment remains ambiguous, and future product plans are perpetually pending without resolution. Infiniti's product staleness infects the entire lineup with vehicles that have not received significant updates in years. The Q50 sedan continues largely unchanged since its introduction nearly a decade ago. The QX60 crossover, while technically new, shares extensive components with mainstream Nissan vehicles, making the luxury premium questionable to informed buyers. When your newest vehicles feel dated compared to competitors, you face an uphill battle regardless of pricing strategy employed. Technology obsolescence plagues every Infiniti model, with infotainment and driver assistance systems that trail mainstream brands significantly. The dual-screen infotainment interface that once seemed innovative now feels clunky and dated compared to single-screen solutions from competitors. Driver assistance features that should be standard on luxury vehicles remain optional or unavailable entirely. Android Auto and Apple CarPlay integration arrived years late to the Infiniti lineup. Each technology gap represents another reason for potential buyers to eliminate Infiniti from consideration before ever visiting a dealership. Incentive dependency has reached crisis levels, where Infiniti cannot move inventory without substantial discounts that destroy margins. Average incentives exceed $7,000 per vehicle across the lineup, approaching levels that make profitability questionable at best. Some dealers advertise discounts exceeding $10,000 on slow-moving models, essentially liquidation pricing on brand-new luxury vehicles. These massive rebates destroy any perception of exclusivity or premium positioning in the marketplace. When your luxury vehicle requires mainstream brand discounting to sell, you have fundamentally failed at luxury positioning. Number 1. Ram. The shocking inclusion of Ram at number 1 will surprise many because the truck brand has appeared successful in recent years. But beneath surface sales figures lurks a developing crisis that could reshape the full-size truck market. Ram's quality problems have exploded across the 1500 and 2500 lineups, with transmission issues, electrical gremlins, and build quality problems generating class action lawsuits and owner complaints. The 8-speed automatic transmission used across Ram's lineup has documented problems including harsh shifting, delayed engagement, and outright failures requiring complete replacement. These are not minor inconveniences. These are major mechanical issues affecting vehicles that often serve as work trucks where reliability is absolutely non-negotiable. Engine problems compound Ram's reliability crisis across multiple powertrains significantly. The 5.7-liter Hemi V8, long a Ram selling point, faces documented issues including valve seat failures, excessive oil consumption, and lifter problems that can cause catastrophic engine damage. The eco-diesel engine alternative has its own troubled history with emissions system failures, fuel system problems, and expensive repairs outside warranty periods. When both your gasoline and diesel options have significant documented reliability problems, customers have nowhere to hide within your lineup at all. These mechanical issues are triggering a customer confidence collapse that sales figures have not yet reflected fully. Longtime Ram loyalists are defecting to Ford and GM alternatives after expensive repairs and poor dealer experiences handling warranty claims. Online forums dedicated to Ram problems have exploded in membership as owners share documentation of failures and coordinate legal strategies. Social media amplifies every reliability horror story, creating negative word of mouth that spreads faster than any marketing campaign can counter effectively. Once a truck brand develops a reliability reputation problem, Recovery takes years of flawless execution that seems unlikely. Inventory buildups at Ram dealers reveal a fundamental demand, softening that corporate sales figures mask through aggressive fleet sales. Industry tracking shows day supply exceeding 90 days for many Ram configurations, 2 to 3 times healthy levels for the segment. Dealers report needing substantial discounts to move inventory that once sold quickly at full price. Some are offering $8,000 to $10,000 off manufacturers' suggested retail price on current model year trucks, unheard of discounting in the full-size truck segment where demand typically remains strong. This inventory glut suggests Ram has overestimated consumer demand significantly or underestimated how quickly reliability problems would damage sales momentum. So there you have it. 8 brands that went from commanding respect to begging customers to take their 2025 inventory off dealer lots. What this collapse reveals is how quickly trust evaporates once reliability problems, product misjudgments, or corporate indifference become public knowledge. The most expensive marketing campaigns cannot overcome fundamental product failures or strategic confusion. Several of these brands still build objectively decent vehicles, but they have lost something more valuable than quality: relevance. In a marketplace where consumers have unlimited information and countless alternatives, being forgettable is fatal. These desperate price cuts are not strategic positioning. They are survival instincts kicking in as brands realize they have lost the plot entirely. Which brand shocked you most on this list? Drop a comment below with your predictions for which manufacturer disappears first. Smash that like button to help more people understand what is really happening behind dealer financing offers and rebate programs. Subscribe, because this automotive chaos is accelerating and the next wave of failures is already taking shape.